Hey guys, straight up rent to rent talk here. You'll learn a lot from this channel. I don't waffle, I don't make a video longer than it needs to be. I get straight to the facts, give you the cold hard facts that if you're looking at doing rent to rent, things that you really need to know that everybody might not showcase or might not talk about. So I get very real, very raw, give you the cold hard facts on rent to rent, because if you're going to go down this venture, then you need to know all of the ins and outs, all of the bad stuff, not just the good stuff. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. What I really wish I knew before starting rent to rent, and luckily it didn't catch me out, but I was never made aware that I may have to stand guarantor. Stupidly, I know you're renting a property, or maybe not even stupidly, maybe a bit oblivious, I don't really know, but I wasn't aware that I might have to stand guarantor for a property. You know, I thought it's a business, it's going to be different, it's going to be a different contract, you won't need to stand guarantor. Guarantor never even come into my head, right? And when I secured my very first 3 HMOs, you're going to be put through referencing. The referencing included, I needed to stand a UK homeowner guarantor. Luckily, I am a homeowner, so I could, but then the risk of you're putting your home against your business was scaring me at the time. It was like, okay, I'm taking on 3 HMOs as a complete newbie. Do I put my house against this? And yeah, all of these worries was definitely going through my head. So I just want to make you guys very aware that if you're going to go down rent to rent, especially down the estate agent route and Rightmove and calling agents and getting viewings, submitting offers, negotiating back and forth, offer accepted, then referencing, okay, they may suddenly turn around and say you need to stand UK guarantor for this property. It's quite a likely case. There are ways around it, and I'll go through that in a moment, but it definitely came as a shock to me. But luckily I was a homeowner, so I could, and I did. But the worry of not being able to fill my rooms and then my home is against a business, all I will say is do your due diligence, trust the process. If you're doing HMO, you're going to put a dummy out on spare room, you're going to get X amount of demand, it's going to fill you with confidence that you can fill the rooms, you're going to get potential tenants messaging you back and forth. So yeah, you know, it fills you with the confidence. Serviced accommodation is a different story. It's all about filling yourself with confidence that the area works. There's no guarantees on that property. It's does the area work? So the ways to get around referencing, if you're not a UK homeowner and you want to do rent to rent, there is a way to do it, and this is what I would suggest. Focus on these platforms and in this order: Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, Open Rent. All of these platforms are where landlords hang out. Put yourself in the landlord's shoes. Everybody knows Gumtree. Everybody knows Facebook. If you are self-managing and you're listing this property yourself, it's going to go on Gumtree. It's going to go on Facebook Marketplace. Open Rent. Has everybody heard of Open Rent? I don't know. But I would say Open Rent is the least popular of the 3. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. Either way, focus on all 3 platforms. Send at least 20 messages a day. And here's what I would say as well. So I'm giving you what to say. Hey, your property looks amazing, just what we're looking for. What's the best mobile number and time of day to get you on? Get them on the phone. Tell them what you're offering. You know, there's ethical ways of doing this and there's unethical ways of doing this. Many mentors will say just get the viewing and then tell them what you're proposing on the viewing. I don't agree with that, because you could potentially be wasting your time, and more importantly, you're going to be wasting their time. So I wouldn't turn up to a viewing and be like, hey, we're a company. I know there's different ways to approach it, but essentially they might view it as that you've wasted their time. They've taken time out of their day for you to come and view. They're thinking you're a tenant, and then turns out you're a business. So that's, I would say, unethical. I would say get them on the phone, tell them exactly what you're about, and then say, look, let's have a chat, let's meet at the property. I can go through all the ins and outs of this business when we're at the property. So that's ways to get around standing guarantor if you're not a UK homeowner. Focus more on landlords because they're not as regimented in terms of referencing as estate agents are. Quite a lot of it is built on trust. I'm not saying all landlords will be like this, but you stand your best chance of focusing more directly on landlords if you're not a UK homeowner. Another thing that is made unclear on when starting rent to rent is costs. And I see this all the time in people selling deals. Like, how much does it cost to set up a serviced accommodation? I would say I've never done it less than £2,500. That's if you're buying the furniture. Obviously, you could lease it and have the monthly payment. That's also a business expense that you can write off against the company. So serviced accommodation, yeah, setup costs, as in furniture, no less than £2,500 if you're buying the furniture. A HMO, £1,000, should see you refurbish and kit that property out. It's fairly low budget stuff: bedding kits, wall art, lamps, rugs, feature wall paint, and just a nice spruce up. That's quite standard in Rent HMO world. Anything further on from that, you're going above and beyond on delivering value to the estate agent. Credit to you. You're adding value to the landlord and their property. Just make sure it's worth it for you in terms of profit margins or length of tenancy and stuff like that. Another thing I really wish I knew that, again, wasn't made very clear to me is the amount of discipline and the highs and lows that are in this game. You need to be putting out massive effort. You need a really strong reason why. I cover this in another video, like mastering the rent-to-rent mindset. Make sure you check that out. There's many highs and many lows of this game. If you're not hungry enough, you won't make it. It needs to be a strong enough reason why that you will stay disciplined and motivated, because I say this all the time. The moment the class Zoom stops or the networking event comes to an end and you're sat at home in your kitchen at your dining room table on your laptop, knowing you need to be stacking deals, looking for deals, messaging landlords on Open Rent, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, you need to have the discipline to be able to do that. So yeah, there's many highs and lows of this game, like making offers, getting it rejected, making offers, getting it rejected. I made 244 phone calls, 24 property viewings I went on before I had my very first offer accepted. So trust me, I had many moments where I thought, is this going to happen for me? Is anybody going to accept the deal from me? Why would anybody accept the deal from me with zero experience? I'm a brand new business, never managed tenants, never managed properties. Like, I stand zero chance. So I was just trusting the process, doing the work because I needed to become financially free so I can spend time with my family eventually further down the line. So that's another thing you really need to write down. Have a real clear reason why, because rent to rent is tough. It's going to test everybody. Like, I think any business venture is hard. It could be deal sourcing, it could be lease options, it could be BRR, any property strategy or any business venture. I think it's hard. If it's not hard, it's not rewarding enough. Rent to rent is just another hard business venture. But if you stick to the process and you do the work, it's so worth it. I would say they are the main points that you really need to get into your mind and understand before starting rent to rent. Possibly a guarantor. If you're not a UK homeowner, can you find someone who would stand guarantor for your business? I would say that's quite hard. So focus more direct on landlords through Open Rent, Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace. Send at least 20 messages per day. Expect it to be hard. Go through the emotions of the up and downs, rejections, being told no. As soon as you come to terms with those two things, you'll be absolutely fine. So if you found this video valuable, give us a like. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.